Hello, welcome to Michael's Fish Room and the last video of 2017. It is December 30th and I didn't make a video yesterday on Friday. Was busy running around doing some things and wasn't actually going to make another video this year. And at the last second I decided I should show you the chaos that is the fish room right now. Total and utter disaster. I've never seen it so bad. I am actually bothered by it. So let's take a look. All right, fishy folks, it's the entrance to the fish room. You can see that the curtain is sort of bulged out and all cattywampus. There's the slop sink. There's a 55. There's a 20 long. Let's go inside and see the chaos. Hope you're sitting down. We'll just pan nice and slow so you can see the damage. All right, well, let's talk about what happened. We got the table that was there out. We got the rack that was there, moved it over there. Not sure if I'm putting tanks on it or not, to be honest with you. I thought I would have more room there. This area here where I'd be able to actually squeeze between that rack and the tanks. And I really don't. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to use that rack for tanks. I'll probably move that rack and use it for storage, but I don't think I'm going to put anything there. I think the center of the fish room is going to just be the path. Now here's another conundrum I had. I measured how the length of wood I needed yesterday. Essentially I need enough space between a cinder block there and a cinder block in the middle for 320s, and then I need at least 49 inches here. There's going to be a 90 here, then a 75, and then there's going to be 2 rows of 20 highs, and then going across the top are going to be 10s. At least that's the plan. Now I will have to move that plumbing for the auto water change system. You can see from this union here. I'm probably just going to extend it to the back, and that'll give me enough space to get my hand in the top row. There's barely enough room here, so I really kind of want to plan this one height wise a little bit different. I didn't really plan too well over here. If it gets where I really can't do it, especially over here where the tall tanks are going to go, the bigger tanks, then I might not just put 10s over that. I might just leave that as storage or something. So basically the wood I got, I got lazy and I bought studs that were 102 1/4 inches, and I thought I could make it work because I didn't want to wait at Home Depot to have longer pieces cut. And of course I can't make it work. It's really just not good for my application. You can see there's barely an inch of wood resting on the center block, and we don't want that when there's going to be, you know, a 90-gallon tank. It's at 450-ish pounds of water plus everything in it. We don't want to risk a problem. So I'm going to go today and get some more wood cut and at least put the base layer in. I also haven't decided. I have almost enough of these big 8-inch cinder blocks, the full cinder blocks. But I thought maybe I would use the half cinder blocks like I did, you know, these that are only 4 inches. That's what I have holding up, you know, the big rack. So I thought I would use those, but I only have 3 of those, so I'd have to go buy more, blah blah blah. I know they're cheap and all, but I like to use what I have. A couple other things in the fish room. You can see the elbow to my drain that I used to use to drain tanks, to vacuum gravel or the bottom of the tank. There's the pipe there. I just moved it out of the way to get these tanks in, and realized it was really in the way. So I may run that along the floor when I'm done, but for now it's just going to sit there. I can't even get it out of the fish room because it's glued together, and it's about 16 feet long, and then it's got about 6 or so feet here, you know, glued to an elbow. So I have to get a cutter to cut it. Long story short, it's just staying there for now. The other disaster in the fish room, I don't know if you noticed, but the floor is kind of wet. I don't know, in my construction over the last day, I think yesterday is really when I started going back behind the tanks. You can see all the water on the floor here. This water is from me testing, because I saw the water on the floor. I felt the humidity in the air, actually. And there's some water on the floor outside the fish room, which never happens. Even if I have a small leak here, it usually stays contained in here. So what I believe happened is somehow this tank got pushed this way, and the big drain was draining on the corner, so half of it was not even making it into the tank. But I think I've remedied that. I've pushed the tank, the sump, all the way to the left up against the tanks that are there. And also the new drain for the lower level tanks, I put on the other side of the pipe that's connected to the pump. Let me just show you what's going on here. So this right here is connected to a pump with a float on it. Obviously the float goes up, the pump turns on, water comes up here through this union, through this one-way check valve, through this T, and all the way up this crazy pipe to that slop sink. Now, you may be saying to yourself, why the hell do you have so many messed up connections there? And I know Richard O'Connor is thinking to himself, that's gonna leak. I hope not. Here's the story. I reused all my old plumbing. Why? Because I'm a cheap you know what. So also, this wasn't planned here, but the pump, what happened is it would pump water up, and then when the float would stop, whatever was left in that pipe would come down, and that would turn the pump back on. So it was a continuous cycle. So I had this one-way check valve from something else in the fish room, and I repurposed it. These are push-to-connect connectors. They're about $1.50 as opposed to 60 cents for the glue type. However, because this is a wet application and I'm reusing everything, I just use these. It's fine. You can see there's some original gluing there, how messy it is. My new joints are much better, but those are still pretty bad. I think that's about it over here. Anyway, so what I did was if you're not sure what a union is, I can take this apart and separate them to do maintenance on the pump or change something. And so I did that. I was able to move the up pipe and move this 2-inch drain for the lower drains out, and then put it back, which separated these two drains, because the other thing that was happening was the big drain was draining onto the bottom drain and splashing. So now that shouldn't happen. All right, that's pretty confusing. I think you got it. A couple things on this rack. This 20 long is coming down, I believe, and I will put up maybe 3 10s, if not 2 10s. That was the plan, because I want to use the 20 longs for apistos, apistos and plecos breeding. I have some apistos in this tank here. See if we can see their orange flash, and of course they're all in caves or hiding. And then I have a couple of albino bristlenose. I think I have 3 males, but I really haven't seen the third one in a while, so I have to find it, what tank it's in, and then put it in a breeding tank with the other 2. Hopefully I have a female. If not, I have to go looking for females, because I want to breed those. I also want to breed super red bristlenose. And that was the plan for this rack. Apistos and plecos. It was going to be 2 different apistos, 2 different plecos, but the rack really isn't tall enough, so I would have to take one of these shelves out and move the middle shelf. and then I'd only have enough room for 3 20s with enough room to get my hand in. So that of course was going to change, but now without this rack I don't know what I'm going to do. I may put 20s across the top instead of 10s. They're the same height, the 20 longs, but obviously in one 20 long space you could fit 3 10s. So I'm not really sure yet how that top rack is going to look, or what I'm going to do with the 20s. So that's the story, and I'm sticking with it. I suppose looking at this I might be able, nope, that's not what's going to happen either. I was going to say I suppose I'll be able to fit a 20 long and a 20 high in the same spot as 320 long, 320 highs, because you can see from here there's just about the same amount of space. I'd have to measure and probably reconfigure one of those areas behind me on the shelf, but then I realized, oh no, that shelf is 4 inches longer on that side. That tank is 4 inches longer. So all right, that's enough of me rambling about the disaster of the fish room. Guys, I hope everyone has a great and safe and happy new year, and I'll see you in 2018 with the new schedule, which I think I said is going to be Wednesday and Friday. Maybe it'll be Wednesday and Saturday. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. And that's about it. Any last minute late Christmas gifts, hit up my Teespring and buy some shirts, or you could go to my website, michaelsfishroom.com, buy some gift certificates, or buy fish. I'm not shipping yet. It's 15 degrees outside and snowing, so I'm not shipping until it warms up. All right, people. Have a great day. See ya.